Very good morning to all the students who are preparing for CS Executive uh, December 2025 exams. This 20-25 minutes video is basically to help you to prepare for um, CS Executive Group 2 Capital Markets and Security Laws. There is one paper 1 in Group 2. Then we have got Economic and Commercial Laws in that is paper 2. Then tax laws we have. So generally CS Executive students, they show reluctance to learn tax subject in CS, but there is no option at all. You have to pass that paper with about at least 45 to 50 marks. At least 40 you have to score, though your core papers are not tax papers, etc. But capital markets, which has a link with company law, it is very, very important. So make sure you finish watching this video without skipping anything. I just want to tell you not the answer, but answer writing method. Basically, 3 questions I have taken from CMSL subjects, that is capital markets, CMSL subject, that is capital markets and security loss paper. You generally have under the new syllabus capital markets first part, then 40 marks, then security loss you have got 60 marks. All right. So the references I have taken from ICSI textbook only. So make sure you are very clear with the answer style. Answer style is very important if you really want to get good marks. All right. I hope I'm audible. In case you need any assistance, please do call on those numbers. We will help you. So I'm Babu Raipudi, teaching law papers last 27-28 years, and in company secretary course all the law papers I handle, and CA CMA also law papers and economics papers I handle. All right, let us read the first question. Honorable Justice Z, retired Chief Justice of High Court, attained the age of 64. So the first very important thing, he is a retired person. That too, he retired. He was retired from where? Chief Justice of High Court. So when you're reading the question, which is semi-case law question like this, semi-practical, semi-case law question like this, do not read the entire question. While reading only, come to start applying some methods like, so okay, suppose first one is retired. The moment he's retired, then he's eligible or not. Second thing is retired from where? Chief Justice of High Court. So he was there in Chief Justice, he was there in High Court. The next one is he attained the age of 64 years on 31st December 2022. The central government has appointed him as presiding officer of SAT, that is Securities Appellate Tribunal. You know, in SEBI regulations, any dispute, first of all, we will refer it to SEBI. Then afterwards, we will, if in case you're not happy, you will go to SAT, right? With effect from 1st January 2. So you are required to state with reference to SEBI Act 1992, SEBI Act 1992. So this question is from SEBI Act 1992. In capital markets, right? Then with effect from, the term for which he may be appointed as priest. So first of all, he's asking a term. How many years you can appoint him? The second important question, whether he can be reappointed as such and remains as presiding officer, so and so. First of all, he is how many years? 64 years. So see this point here, he's 64 years. So whenever question is like this, first of all, when you are reading the question itself, make sure you start finding out the concept. So that means first 3 lines, whatever question was given or is given, you must find out first what is the concept connected. Concepts in the sense, maybe SEBI is one concept, SCRA is one concept, depositories is one concept, debentures is one concept, meetings is one, like this. In every question, there will be one concept. So immediately you should recollect that concept first of all. So the questions, so 2 questions are given. If it is for 5 marks, 2.5, 2.5. If it is 4 marks, 2 marks, 2 marks. That's how generally marks allocation will be there. So there is every possibility. So that means where are you writing essay type questions? You're not writing essay type questions. First question, if it is just 2 marks, you're going to finish your answer in just 5 or 6 lines or maximum 7 lines. So no question in your subjects, I'm telling you, is going to be like an essay type question. So no, you're not going to write more than 10 lines. Trust me. So writing 10 lines after understanding the concept is very easy. So that is why whenever you happen to study professional courses such as CS, I'm telling you, make sure you focus on the concept. So don't listen to shortcut summary material. Sometimes you have to read 50 lines to come to a conclusion as to what exactly is the concept associated with. That is very, very important. Without reading the concept and you try to mug up the answers, you try to remember the answers, you try to read the ready-made material which is available in the market, that does not work. You must always focus on what? The concept. Is my point clear? Okay, now what is the first question? What is the term? So first of all, there is a section associated. Now that I'm telling you sections, if in case you don't remember the section, generally law may always concept has to be explained with the help of sections. By any chance, if you don't remember the section, you can write as per the relevant sections of SEBI Act 1992. Okay, if you remember, fine. If you don't remember also, don't worry. For not writing the section, so many marks they won't cut. Maybe 1.5. I mean, full marks, though, you won't get 100%. If you don't write the section, there is every possibility you will not get full marks. Maybe 1.5 marks may be deducted. But that is why you start the answer as per the relevant section of SEBI Act 1992. SEBI Act, don't say SEBI Act, full year you write, SEBI Act 1992. That is very, very important. If you remember, that is related. Anyway, SEBI Act is in the question itself, it is given. So now you have to tell first of all whether he's eligible or not. See, first line may what is he's age 64 years, so you have to come to conclusion whether he's eligible or not. So he was a retired Chief Justice of High Court. He's eligible. So his eligibility is very important. So eligibility is very. See, that shall not be qualified for appointment as a presiding officer of so and so unless, see there, unless he has been a judge of Supreme Court or Justice of High Court. So one condition is satisfied. That means if you want to appoint a presiding officer of SAT, the person whom you want to appoint as a presiding officer, that person must have been a judge of either Supreme Court or High Court. That too, or for at least how many years? 7 years. So 7 years. So now look at this. He was a retired Chief Justice of High Court, attained the age of so and so, years and all, we don't know. So we came to a conclusion, is a retired judge of one condition is satisfied. As per section 59, presiding officer of SAT shall hold an office for 5 years. So you have to explain according to the concept what is. So he's asking you how many years he can be appointed. Don't say he can be appointed for so and so. First, explain the concept. According to law, SEBI Act, for how many years a presiding officer can be appointed? You don't worry about this fellow. This person's information you give later. First, explain the concept. According to so and so, he can be appointed for so and so years. Understood? Okay. And he shall be eligible for reappointment for another term, maximum 5 years. That means he may be reappointed also. But see the point. But subject to the age of maximum 70 years. So two concepts you explained clearly. What is the concept you explained? First of all, who's eligible for appointing as presiding officer according to SEBI Act 1992? So you explained. So in both the paragraphs, you did not answer the question. Try to understand this. Both the paragraphs, you explained only concept. So remember, first paragraph of this kind of questions always explain the concept first. If you remember the sections, you write the section. If you remember the regulation, you write the regulation. Otherwise, as per the relevant sections or regulation of so and so, please write the concept. So you clearly mentioned that presiding officer may be appointed for SAT for 5 years. He may be reappointed also for another 5 years, but both 5 years plus 5 years should not cross his overall age 70 years. Now, therefore, now you are giving answer. You're giving answer. First question is what? What is the term? Second question is what? Second question is what? Whether he can be reappointed. So in both the things you can explain in 2 points, A and B, otherwise in one paragraph. So Mr. Z can be appointed as a presiding officer of SAT. Can be appointed. Why? Because he's not 70. First thing, he's just 64 years and he was working. He was a judge of High Court. Judge of High Court. Finish? Yes, that is done. So next, after 5 years, after he will attain the age of 69 years. That means when he's 64 years, if he's appointed for 5 years, he's going to be attained the age after 5 years, almost 69 years. Then 16, our age limit is what? 70. So there's nothing. So when you're writing the answer, don't be very strict as, okay, this only I should write. No, be very spontaneous. Start using the words, language as you like. But make sure legalistic language, I mean juristic language you start writing. Now my question is, sir, he is now 64 years and he is appointed for 5 years. He will be reappointed, no doubt, for the next 5 years. But the problem is he will be attaining the age of 69 years. So he can be reappointed, but for only 1 year. That means he will be reappointed, but he will retire after 1 year. The reason being, after 1 year, he will attain the age of 70 years. See that point. Mr. Z shall have to vacate the office as president, shall not be reappointed for presiding officer, so on, attaining the age of 70 years. Finish. See how simple it is. So what did we do in this question? This kind of a question, I mean to say, we explained only two very important things. We explained only two very important. One is what the concept we gave. So how did we understand the concept? We understood the concept based on the first line, 3-4 lines only. Explain the concept starting with the provisions. If in case you don't remember the provisions, you just start writing the answer as per the relevant sections of so and so. Explain the concept in 1 or 2 paragraphs. Then lastly, if A, B is given, put A, he can be appointed. Put B, he may not be reappointed after 70 years, but he can be reappointed for 1 year. Finish. You don't have to copy paste this kind of answer as it is. Please. So you understand first what is he asking. Okay, that is one thing. Next, one more question. Let's see. Samruddhi Enterprises established a trust. The trust holds some shares of the company, obtained it for the purpose of implementation of share-based employee benefit scheme. You know, in this share-based employee benefit scheme regulations, we clearly studied that if in case company wants employees to hold shares, company can form a trust. Trust on behalf of employees will hold shares. Trust that is constituted by company will hold shares on behalf of employees. And whatever money that is required to buy the shares, trust will borrow money from the company. That means company lends money to trust, then trust will hold the shares. Later on, shares will be allotted to employees. This is the concept related to share-based employee benefit scheme regulations, 2021. So what is the question he's asking? What the trust holds some shares obtained by it for the purpose of implementation of so and so. Answer the following in the light of SEBI SBEB regulations. In what manner the shares held by the trust will be disclosed to stock exchange? How do you disclose them? You see, now the question is, these shares are meant for employees, but they are not held by employees. Currently, they are held by the trust, which is created for the sake of employees. Second question says, can shares held by the trust be included in the category of public holding? Generally, there is a rule, no, public holding must be at least 25%. So, but until shares are given to what you call so and so public, it is not public because it's, first of all, these are meant for whom? These are meant for employees. So where is the question of calling them as public? Very simple, right? So now see, even this kind of question, many questions, I'm telling almost 80% of the questions in CMSL paper, especially security loss paper, you will find questions like this. In every question, 1 or 2 questions they will give you. So answering a question in just 5-6 lines is easy, boss, I'm telling. So concept is very important. If not today, you will become, but make sure you start learning the concept one by one. You want to give an attempt, you give an attempt, that's a different story. But professional courses, they simply don't pass. They simply don't give you marks unless and until they come to a conclusion that you have understood the concept, right? Okay. So as per regulation of SEBI, you don't remember the regulation number, then as per SEBI share-based employee regulations 2021, like this you have to start. So that is very, very important for the starting of the answer. And now it is prescribed that for the purpose of disclosure to stock exchange, the shareholding of the trust shall be shown as non-promoter, non-public shareholding. That means whatever shares that are allocated to trust which is holding shares for the sake of employees shall not be called as public shareholding, shall be called as non-promoter, non-public shareholding. Then shares held by the trust shall not be form part of public. So that regulation clearly says that. If you want, you go to that lesson and refer. So what is the first question? What is the manner you will disclose to stock? Is it shares held by the trust are required to be shown as non-promoter, non-public? That's all. First question in 3 lines only you finish. But before that, in the concept you explained. So your answers are going to be sometimes 2-3 lines only. But before you answer the question, please write the concept, what you understood from that question. That itself will give you around 2 marks. That itself will give you around. So 1.5, they will give you. Otherwise, 4 marks, 3 marks they can give you for that. And remaining 1 mark each they can give you. Next question is what? Can shares be held by trust be included in category of public shareholding? So what is the question? It cannot be. So it shall not be a part of, the shares which are held by the trust which is on behalf of employees cannot be treated as public shareholding. So it is not a public shareholding. Public shareholding means every company should have a public shareholding of, let's say, at least 25%. No, that rule will not apply here. Make it very simple. See the answer size, make it very simple. That means if you are able to explain the concept in 5 or 6 lines and thereafter you straight away give answers, then fine. If you are starting in the beginning itself, you start giving the answer, examiner will not accept the answer because you, without explaining the concept connected to it, you started giving the answer. Answer's length is not the matter here. Answer is the matter. So practice, you have to practice a lot. Otherwise, whatever concept you understood spontaneously, you should be able to develop. That is what. Let's see one more question. So similar question, because of why I took this kind of questions in CMSL and most of your CS executive law papers. In one question, there will be 2-3 questions, so that your answer is going to be very short. In the sense, maybe sometimes 3 lines, 4 lines, etc. But the concept will be at least 5 to 6 lines. State with the reasons whether companies are allowed to make public issue under ICDR regulations. No, 2018 we have got public issue, right? IPO, FPO, etc. guidelines are there. Mr. So and so, promoter of XYZ Limited, categorized as a willful defaulter. So for this, basically, the moment you start reading the question, you need to understand that we are talking about eligibility and ineligibility of the promoters of companies, which is not eligible to issue so and so IPO. The company requires funds for business expansion. It's the next one. So basically, they want to go for IPO. He is asking you eligibility criteria of IPO. So you need to go and check whether who's eligible, who's not eligible. Very crystal, willful defaulter, fugitive economic offender, people who are debarred from stock exchange, people who are debarred from accessing capital market, so on and so some points are there. Okay, the next one is Mr. Sinha is one of the board of director of VG Garments Limited, against whom a warrant of arrest related to scheduled offense is given. Sinha left India. So there was a legal case filed against him. This particular board of director left India when the case was filed, in the sense he's absconding. When he's absconding, and that too after doing any financial fraud, 100% he will be treated as fugitive economic offender. So we've got 2 VIPs here. One is willful defaulter. Second one is fugitive economic offender. If you go and see the regulations, ICDR, 101% fugitive economic offender, willful defaulters, and the people who are debarred from accessing capital market are not eligible to go for. And such companies, such group of companies having these promoters, directors, etc., who are certified as willful defaulter or declared as willful defaulter and fugitive economic offenders, IPO is not possible. Understood. So I'm telling you, instead of trying to attempt entire 100 marks paper, you try to answer the questions which are 100% perfect properly first, I'm telling you. Once after 4 or 5 questions you answer, then definitely your speed will increase. This is what you have to remember, right? Okay. Next one, answer you see, as per regulations, so and so, ICDR regulations, issuer shall not be eligible. Issuer means company shall not be eligible to make IPO if, see there, promoters, directors, willful defaulter, or in a given case, Jain, one of the promoters, categorized as willful defaulter, so he cannot proceed. Second one also, the issuer shall not be eligible to make a public offer if in case you are fugitive. In this case, Mr. Sinha, so and so, he left India after legal prosecution is filed, so he's not available. So he's an absconding person who has committed financial frauds, etc., etc. So he's declared as fugitive economic offender. So this company also cannot go for public issue. Cannot go for public issue. Finish? Yes. So see the answer size. 4 lines was 4 lines, or maximum 5. That's all. If if you convert this into handwriting, maybe 6 plus 6. This is how. Don't be afraid. If you have understood concept in my classes or whichever classes I'm telling you, if you have understood concept, but you did not focus more on reading, but more on understanding, I'm telling you, the moment you see the question, concepts automatically fall in and follow the method. First one, understand which concept is connected to it, then explain in the first paragraph, then answers in points wise you explain. If they gave you 3 questions, 3 points you write. If they give you 2 questions, 2 points you write. But do not start writing the answer in the first paragraph itself. You have to start writing the answer only after giving concept relevant in that case law question. All right. Wish you all the best. Any doubts, please do WhatsApp on our office numbers. We will be able to assist you, and I will be able to assist you. If in case you need any clarity, I'll record and post it. So please do subscribe this channel. This will help you to give you some updates on CS courses and CS exam related, CS preparation and CS LO, CS batches, etc., etc. Thank you so much. Have a good day.